What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend, paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hope you guys do well. Take care of yourselves. You guys gotta see this. It is crazy. I love this song, and I've never seen the video. Check this out. This is from, like, I don't know, the 50s or some shit. Check this out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise.
Don't worry.
And suddenly, to my
I'm not gonna keep playing it. Look at his face.
the monster man. It was a graveyard
I bet you that's not who you thought sang that song, huh?
in a flash.
He did the Monster Mash. I love it, man. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. You gotta play it every Halloween, right? I mean, everybody does. Just a great song. Anywho, reason I'm playing it is because we're gonna talk about an octopus-looking alien today. So, good shit. You're gonna like it, hopefully. Sorry for swearing. I'm gonna turn this down, and we're gonna get to the article. So, are you guys doing well? Are you guys having fun? You having a great weekend? I hope you are. That's what I hope for everybody. So let's get to the article. This one states possible shapeshifter encounter at South Minneapolis light rail crossing. So this is really crazy and wild, and I don't know what to think about it, but we'll get into it. So this comes to us from Phantoms and Monsters again, and they've been putting out some good articles here. A reader submitted an unexplained encounter with a possible shapeshifter while stopped at a light rail crossing in South Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so this is the article, and it comes to us from 2012 again. A lot of these articles are coming from 2012. People are like sitting on these for like 10 years. It's like almost like they got like what do they call that? when you commit a crime and then time passes and then they can't prosecute you for it anymore, whatever that is. But anyway, here we go. So in the summer near the end of August 2012, which I can say is a bizarre time even for myself, she says, I saw something really strange. I was on 42nd and Hiawatha in South Minneapolis, Minnesota, about 6:30 p.m. So it'd still be light in August, right? At 6:30. Can see things very well, especially late August. I saw what appeared to be a man with a face like nothing I've ever seen. I looked briefly and noticed what appeared to be something like an elephant Cyclops face. Okay. I said, what did I say? Squid face? Octopus face? Elephant Cyclops face is what she said. So I started off wrong. He was using his hands to continually push his face up. I kind of freaked out and I didn't want to look. However, I was stuck at the tracks right next to him. And it was really hard to not notice this man. Okay, if you're right next to somebody in 2012, you'd be able to tell if it was a mask, right? Probably. Now, nowadays, they have these human masks that they're promoting all over the internet that are like, you put them on and you look like another human, and it doesn't look like a mask. I mean, that's how good it is now. But back then in 2012, they just didn't have that tech yet. And you'd be able to tell if it was just an elephant mask, right? And she's saying an elephant Cyclops, so did it have the trunk and then it just had one eye? Because that's fucking weird, man. So that's what she's saying. She said, before the light changed, I took another look and I noticed he was still trying to push his face back into some shape. He was wearing a trench coat, driving a green older minivan. Green older minivan? Was he driving my old van? What's going on here? I was not seeing things. Oh, I was not seeing things. Oh, she's saying basically I wasn't hallucinating. She says, it definitely felt like I saw something otherworldly. Is it possible I saw a shapeshifter? Yes. Has anyone else seen something like this before? Well, yes, actually. In fact, they have. You see, down in Pascagoula, there was the case with Calvin Parker, right? Calvin Parker and his friend got abducted by these like marshmallowy, long-nosed aliens that look like a carrot was coming out of their nose and out the top of their head, and on both sides of their head like their ears. And these things were all wrinkly and bizarre looking, although they didn't have a trunk. They had like a carrot-like appendage coming out of their face. So that's what I'm likening this to. I'm not saying it's the exact same species at all, because there's, how many millions, possibly billions of species are there that can be able to travel, these vast distances. So, did she see a shapeshifter? She said. Well, let me ask you a question. If you travel to another planet and you're looking for a main method of communication, of transportation, are you picking an older green minivan? Or are you just going to transport yourself with your technology? I often wonder that. Now, personally, I would go with the older green minivan. Why? They're just reliable. I mean, reliable as all heck. Especially that green color. It just goes the distance. It can go at least a couple miles without breaking down. And if you get a good one, you can go a couple more. And the older they are, the better they are. The rustier too, the better they get. So I mean, for my money, if I'm just traveling around and I'm an interstellar species, I'm going an older green minivan. Okay. Now, if I'm a human, I'm probably not going to be driving around with an elephant Cyclops mask on, because not only are you going to get a ticket for like reckless driving, but you could kill somebody while trying to have a mask on while you're driving. And on top of that, she says she doesn't say the thing looked at her. She doesn't say the thing tried to talk to her. She doesn't say there was somebody behind him, with a video camera or a phone trying to make a prank video. This guy was, whoever it was, alien or human, was just trying to put his face back on. It's kind of interesting because we do hear about these kinds of weird stories in movies where entities, their face starts melting because they're trying to hold some sort of shape for too long, and then they run out of time or energy, and they're trying to like put their face back into place. We've also heard these Men in Black stories where people have been visited, and these Men in Black say, "Oh, running out of energy, need more power, must leave," and they look like they're profusely sweating, and like it looks like their face is like melting off, and they look like their eyeballs don't belong on like that body, and it just looks like a completely different species. It doesn't even look like a human in a black suit anymore. It just looks like they're like a human getting melted by fire. With this one, I don't know what to say, 'cause there's no pictures. There's not a whole lot of detail, but the fact that she says an elephant Cyclops face is really weird. You either have an elephant mask or you have a Cyclops mask. You don't typically have both. So it kind of lends itself to what kind of species would this be? Is this really like a Calvin Parker type species down in Pascagoula, or is this a new species? I've seen a lot of stories lately about an elephant-like race, and that wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility, because we had the woolly mammoth here for millions of years before elephants. They're their ancestors, and they're even trying to bring them back. Like Jurassic Park, they're trying to bring them back, and it wouldn't surprise me if a species developed with an elephant snout. It's perfect for a variety of things: picking things up, drinking, or just putting something into your mouth, or grabbing something. So not only can you evolve into, a bipedal creature using your hands, but now you got this huge appendage coming out of your face that you can use for whatever, for creating. Now you have 3 arms. So it's almost a biological advantage to have an elephant type body. It'd be better than us, because you'd have 3 things that you could work with. If you were developing a spacecraft or some shit like that, or you're just developing out of the Stone Age, if you had 3 appendages that you can work with, most people aren't using their feet to develop, whatever they're working on. They're using their 2 hands, and that's it. Now imagine if you had a third appendage that you could hold something with while you're working with your two hands. You can work 33% times faster, right? Or I guess, I don't know if my math's correct, but you can work faster and develop faster. So that would not surprise me if there was a species that had elephant type looks and appendages. What about you? Have you heard of any elephant type species? If you have, you may be entitled to compensation. So think about that. Anybody else in Minnesota heard about this? Anybody, if you have, leave a comment. Like to interview you. Have you seen any other weird species in Minnesota besides I don't know, Prince, who was an alien all unto himself. I loved Prince, and I miss him. So that's it. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I got elephant Cyclops. Never heard of it before, other than Pascagoula. That's as close as I can get. If you can come up with another species that's closer than that, let me know in the comments section. The more comments we have, the more community we build, the faster we can get better stories and collaborate and maybe get some interviews going. I'd love to do that. That'd be kind of fun. Get things going. If you have I don't care, you got a UFO story, you got an alien story, you got a paranormal story, write in. Leave a comment, write into Facebook. Lockdown Universe. You send me a message, I can see it. I'm there. I'm responding to messages. So I'd love to hear what you have to say. We can put you. I'm talking to one gentleman right now, actually, and I'm gonna try to put his story on here as well. I just haven't had time to get to read his entire story because it's good. It's long, and I'm gonna put it on here. So you do the same. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay in the light. Stay positive. Stay healthy. Stay strong, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. Have a good time. Do what makes you happy. I like doing this podcast. Makes me happy. I have a lot of fun doing it. So have a great weekend. Take care. Peace, love, and light. Lockdown Universe out.